All right, guys. So I wanted to quickly make this video because the way the market opened up today was kind of crazy. Now, on Friday, as you recall, we had a massive pump the entire day. We went up over 100 points on SPX, and at the end of the day, I was definitely expecting a hard sell-off or a pretty big dump, right? Because I was expecting people to take profits, and that never really happened. We kind of just went sideways into close. But I knew for a fact that at some point here we have to have that sell off. We got to have that dump because in any trending market, before we can have a higher high, we need to have a lower high first, and then we can have another higher high. So if we are in fact in an uptrend, which it seems like we are, before we can go any higher, we must make a lower high first before we can go ahead and make another higher high. And what's crazy is we actually opened up today at 3 o'clock and we gapped down 40 points on the futures. So right now what you're looking at is the 6 hour time frame on ES. It is October 8th, 8:01 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is ES1 futures, okay? So this is the 6 hour time frame. Now here's what I can expect, okay? So the daily time frame, it actually looks bullish now. As you can see, we had lower lows, higher low, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, and instead of getting a lower low, we failed to make a lower low. We made a lower high followed by a higher high in the same candle. So this completely, on Friday, we completely broke the trend structure from bearish to bullish on the daily. So this, what this tells me is that we could definitely be bullish from here on going forwards, unless something happens. Now we have PPI this week, we have CPI this week. That could definitely change things as well. So we got to be careful for that and be on the lookout for that. But this is definitely a higher high. So my honest opinion is on Monday we're gonna see the price go even higher. I could definitely see the price go even higher tomorrow, and this is what I foresee happening. So we open up today basically 40 points below where we closed on Friday. So this was the pullback that I was expecting. This was the pullback that I was waiting for. This was the sell-off that I was waiting for, and it looks like we got it. Now, what I can definitely see happening is one of two things. So if we look at the 6 hour time frame, what I could see happening is I could see us continuing to come down in the overnight session and potentially open up somewhere around here, around 4,300 area. Or we could stay where we are right now and then open up tomorrow, come down a little bit more, bounce off, make a lower high on the 6 hour time frame, and then take off and go for another higher high on the 6 hour time frame. The 6 hour time frame right now, guys, is very bullish. As you can see, we made a higher high here. We failed to make a lower low right there, instead a lower high, and then we made a higher high as well. So it's very obvious to me that we are in an uptrend on the 6 hour time frame, which tells me that, okay, what we're probably going to get here on Monday is on Monday, we're probably going to get that lower high confirmation, and we're probably going to get it in the overnight session, and we're going to probably come down in the overnight session. And then as Monday opens, we could probably continue to come down a little further in the morning session. And then in the afternoon session on Monday, I could see a very hard pump to the upside, making an additional higher high on that daily time frame. My target for that would be 4370 on the futures. So with that being said, right, this is the daily time frame. Now, if we don't get that, what is most likely going to happen is we're going to pull back to this level right here at, like I said, 4300. Now I can definitely see that happening on the 6 hour time frame. So this 6 hour candle closes in 55 minutes, and it does have a wick from below. All right. Now I can definitely see it going down further because the previous higher low is sitting at right around 4,300. So I'm expecting for us to touch 4,300 before we bounce to the upside. That's what I'm expecting to see. So either we hit 4,300 in the overnight session, or when the market opens up tomorrow, we come down, we hit 4,300, then we bounce, and then we take off and we go for that higher high. Because as you can see, not only do we have an uptrend going on here, but we have this huge gap on ES that needs to be filled, which we don't typically see that. We don't typically see a gap on ES like that. So this is very rare that we see something like this. So this gap is definitely going to need to get filled, and it's a matter of time. So my bias is definitely for the overnight session to be bearish. And if we do hit 4,300 in the overnight session and we open here tomorrow at 4,300, we're going to either go straight into a pump and take off and go for a higher high on the 6-hour time frame, or we could come down a little further, right? In the morning session, come down a little further, and then finally bounce and take off and go for that higher high on the 6-hour. As long as we don't break below 42.67, we are still in an uptrend on the 6-hour time frame, and the trend structure will remain bullish. So keep an eye out for that, and make sure you are very risk averse going into the session tomorrow. I'm very excited for the trading session tomorrow and to see what it brings. I am very bullish. The daily time frame suggests so. As you can see here, the daily time frame basically made a lower high and a higher high in the same candle on Friday. So on Monday, definitely by the time this candle closes in 17 hours, which it says right there, guys, it says 17 hours and 53 minutes, I'm expecting this candle to close much higher than this candle on Friday, and my target would be 43.70. Let's hope I'm right. Let's hope this analysis is correct. We'll have to wait and see for tomorrow, but I am bullish going into the day tomorrow. But as I was mentioning on Friday, after such a massive pump, we need to have a sell-off or a dump. And the reason for that is because people need to take profits. That's just how the stock market works, right? Before we can create a higher high, a lower high must be created first. Once that lower high is created, then we can go for a higher high. So it looks like we are in the process of creating that lower high, and my target for that lower high is 4,300 area. Once we hit 4,300 area, I'm definitely going to be looking at taking calls, and my target would be 43.70, and that would be a very large move, but that is my target, that is my analysis, and that is what I think is going to happen. So stay tuned for another video tomorrow after the session, and I will go over exactly what happened on Monday, October the 9th, 2023. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow.